Here we're going to show you 30 very common idioms in English, expressions, things people say on a daily basis, so things that we use a lot. And we're also going to show you the pronunciation of it, how you put it into context, and everything that you need in between. Let's dive in. So I'm Dan, your English teacher, and you're watching iSpeakSpoken.com, and we're going to look at these idioms, these expressions. The number one, and this is one of my favorite, it's a piece of cake. So, piece of cake, piece. Piece of cake, and cake is this A sound. Something very easy to do. Piece of cake, nice and easy. Finishing this project on time was a piece of cake. So you can use this in many different situations, and it doesn't necessarily have to be informal. You can also use it in a little bit of more formal situation. Just be careful when. But it's not something that's going to make people go, oh really, that's not really appropriate. It will be. You can say it when you want. Number two is to break the ice. To break the ice means to start a conversation in an awkward or social setting. All right, so to break the ice means that you're breaking that frosty feeling that you get when you're with someone new. He told a funny joke to break the ice. Okay, breaking the ice is this meaning of changing the situation from one of tension to one of being more relaxed. This is why sometimes we use the word icebreaker. And we use icebreaker for something that you might use with a group to make them feel more relaxed. So it's the same. This is based on this term, okay? Okay, number three is to cost an arm and a leg. And it actually means to cost a lot of money. Something cost an arm and a leg. So very expensive. This car cost an arm and a leg. This means that it cost me a lot of money. It's a nice and simple thing to use, and you can use it anytime you want to talk about something that costs more than you wanted to pay. Number four is hit the hay, or hit the sack is what we sometimes say. So sack being, actually, this is maybe short for sack of hay. And hay is a type of grass, so dry grass, and it's what people used to sleep on. So this is what you say, is your head hitting the hay. So hit the hay is go to bed, go to bed. For example, it's getting late, time to hit the hay, time to hit the sack, which you can say as well. Okay? Now you can use this, let's try it. Maybe next time you get tired, you can say this and you can see whether the person that you're speaking to understands what you're saying. If they're English, they probably will. Number five is something that we use a lot, especially in British English, under the weather. And under the weather, I mean, we like to talk about the weather, right? So it's going to be used, it means I'm feeling ill. And I don't know exactly what it means. I just know that when we say we feel under the weather, we feel ill. There are theories that it might be because the weather changes the way you feel. We don't know. So I can't come to work today. I'm feeling under the weather. So I'm feeling under the weather is the same as I'm feeling unwell. All right. It's very useful. Nice way to say it. If you use it in an English context with English people, they will know exactly what you mean. Number six, to spill the beans means to reveal a secret. Spill the beans is revealing a secret. He finally spilled the beans about their engagement. So he finally told everybody the secret. Okay? So reveal a secret. Use this one in an English context. People will know what you're talking about, but just make sure that you're talking about a secret especially, because sometimes it can be confused and you might get it in the wrong place. So just try it. Practice, see how it goes. If you're feeling scared about doing something and you're not sure about whether to do it or not, somebody might say to you this: just bite the bullet. And it means just face the difficult situation bravely. Do it. Don't worry too much. It's the way you should also approach your English speaking. Always just bite the bullet, say what you think is right, and most of the time it will be. It's better to make a mistake and then be corrected than to say nothing and never learn, right? So I have to bite the bullet and tell him the bad news. Or I have to bite the bullet and speak English to my new American friends. So just before we go on, let me remind you about our quiz that you can take, which is on the I button above there. If you're on a mobile or a tablet, you might not see this, or you won't see this, so we've put the link in the description for you as well. So there you can download the slides, you can take the quiz, and you can find out how much of this video you remembered. And if you didn't remember as much as you wanted to, you can watch the video again and you can try it all again. So let's have a look at the next one, which is the best of both worlds. And this best of both worlds is related to another one we might come up across later. So let's just keep that in mind. So a situation wherein you can enjoy two different opportunities at the same time. It's the best of both worlds. By working part-time and studying, she has the best of both worlds. All right? So both is this O, oath, both sound, remember, get it right. And you can use this in many different situations, but just try and practice to see how you might use it. So when would you think about using this one? Maybe you can think about a context in which you could use it, and you can practice with another speaker or another person learning English. So number 9 is to burn the midnight oil. And this means, and it's harking back to a long time ago when people didn't have electricity, is to work late into the night. And it basically means to burn the oil in your lamp through the night, okay? So most people had an oil lamp many, many years ago, and this is what it means, burning the midnight oil, working late at night. I have to burn the midnight oil to complete this report, so I have to work through the night. So basically, burning the midnight oil is saying, yeah, working late into the night, okay? You can use this all the time. Whenever you work late or whenever you're working through the night, you can use that, no problem. Number 10, hit the nail on the head. It means get something exactly right or to describe exactly what's causing a situation. So yes, you hit the nail on the head. So she hit the nail on the head when she said the company's problem was poor management. She got it exactly right. Now, some people might say, isn't it she hits? Well, no, because we're talking about the past, okay? She hit the nail. And because it's the past, it's an irregular form, and so it's I hit, you hit, we hit before, we will hit. Okay, so it's always the same, so it's a regular form. So this is why we don't put she hits, although if she did it now, it would be. All right, so just make sure you remember this. So to cut corners is our number 11, and you know what this means, I'm sure. It means to go across the corner, meaning you're not doing the job properly. So to do something poorly or cheaply. If you cut corners, you don't do things as you should. You don't do it the right way to try and save time. Okay? So they really cut corners when they built this house. They didn't do this properly, or they didn't finish that properly. Okay? You might even say, and you can say this on the road when somebody cuts a corner in front of you. They're doing it to save time, but it's annoying for everybody. Number 12, once in a blue moon. Now this is one that my mum uses all the time. She says, oh, do it once in a blue moon, meaning I never do it very often. There's something that happens very rarely, okay? I only go to the cinema once in a blue moon. That's the same with me, actually. I only go to the cinema once in a blue moon, so if you say once in a blue moon, you mean I only go to the cinema very rarely, or I rarely go, okay? You can use many different ways. You can try this one out. It's easy to put into context. Think about how you might use it. So number 13 is to take something with a grain of salt, or you can also say pinch of salt. We say in British English, pinch. The pinch of salt. What is a pinch? A pinch is this, okay? You pinch something. Okay, so not to take something someone says too seriously. You can say, I take everything he says with a grain of salt, or I take everything she says with a pinch of salt. Okay, it just means I don't take it seriously. I'm not quite sure why people use it, but hey. So number 14, the ball's in your court, or the ball is in your court. Now you can make this into a more contracted form, the ball's in your court. But when you write it, I would write it like this, it's probably better. So it's up to you to make the next decision. So it means it's your decision to do the next thing. It's your decision to make the decision about what we're talking about, okay? It's your thing. I've done my part, now the ball is in your court. Can you see how it works in context? So I've done my bit, now it's your turn. Now the ball is in your court, like your turn as well. Your turn to act, let's say. Your turn to act. Okay, nice. Use it. You can use this one, especially in business context. Okay, so number 15 is to miss the boat, which literally means to miss an opportunity. And if you think about the imagery of it, it's the imagery of you missing your connection. So missing the boat goes before you get on it. So it's a very literal thing, the way it sounds. So to miss an opportunity, she missed the boat on that deal. So she missed the deal because she didn't get something done in time, okay? Remember, this sound is O, so miss the boat, oat, boat. And you can use this, you can start using this one now. Maybe you can try. Okay, number 16, out of the blue. Out of the blue means something that happens unexpectedly. I'm not quite sure why people say this. It could be something to do with the sea. I mean, who knows? It could be something to do with the sky. So he decided to move to Spain out of the blue. So it was something unexpected. Now remember, so we've got this ow sound, out, okay? But also remember that when you use or when you write a country's name, you always capitalize the first letter. Don't forget that. So he decided to move to Spain out of the blue. He decided just like that, one day. Nobody was expecting it. Number 17, to sit on the fence. Sit on the fence meaning, you can kind of imagine it now. You're sitting on the fence, you're not this side, you're not that side. So delaying in making a decision. It means sitting on the fence, not committing to either one. So I'm sitting on the fence about the job offer. It means I can't make a decision either way. You can also accuse someone of sitting on the fence. You know, you're sitting on the fence on this. It means that you can kind of push somebody to try and politely, you can push them to make a decision on something. You can say sitting on the fence, and then if we don't have this, you can say on this. So you're sitting on the fence on this situation, on this decision, okay? You can try that out. It'd be quite useful to try and see if you can use it in your context of business. Okay, 18, we've got a bit of a tongue twister for you here, through thick and thin. Now this is something that you can practice, I think. You need to practice it. So through, ooh sound, thick and thin. So you have to try it. So get the sentence, listen to me, through thick and thin, through thick and thin. Okay, try it yourself. Okay, just practice it and practice to see if you get it right. Sometimes, depending on what your first language is, you might find it difficult to get this sound correctly, but it's the there's no voice, just thick and thin. Okay, we've been friends through thick and thin. So all situations, no matter how difficult, this is what it means. It means these things will always stay the same through bad times, through good times, okay? Good and bad times. So we've been friends through thick and thin, and we can always we can put this to show you. So through good and bad times. Sometimes it's nice to see an alternative so you can really understand it. Okay, try it yourself. Number 19 is to cry over spilt milk. And it means, or people usually say don't, or you don't need to. So complaining about a loss or failure from the past. So it's no use crying over spilt milk. You'll always get this kind of don't cry, or it's no use crying, or something like this. Because it's not something you can say, oh, I'm crying over spilt milk. You never say it in a positive way. It's always with don't do this, or it's no use doing this. So remember, cry, you have this I sound, this spill is I, the short I, and this is just obviously this part of the word, but spilt, you will have this as well, spilt milk, okay. Complaining about loss of past, try this, but make sure you always put this, it's no use or don't. So don't cry or no use crying, okay. So this is something that we need to make sure that you don't use twice. So don't cry, maybe it's better to say it. Don't cry over. Okay, try it. Number 20, barking up the wrong tree. Now this is beautiful imagery, really. If you think about watching a dog barking, that's my impression of a dog, up the wrong tree, meaning that it doesn't, you're getting something wrong. So you're mistaken or misguided. So the thing the dog wants is in another tree, but he's barking up another one. So it's the wrong tree. And it literally means that. It literally means you've made a mistake, or you're misguided in your attention, or the way you're going for something. So if you think you can solve this, you're barking up the wrong tree. So you've got it wrong. You're misguided. All right. It's a nice one to use. You can try and use it with your friends, maybe some English speaking friends you have, and see if they understand and see if you can say it in the right way. Okay, number 21 is one that we use quite a lot, and it means to join others in doing something that has become fashionable. So jumping on the bandwagon. Now, let's look at the pronunciation because it's kind of complicated. So we have this ah sound in band and wagon, but because wagon we have like stress here, and this is the smaller, this is the schwa sound. So it's wagon, wagon, even though it's an O. We don't say wagon, we never say that, okay? So another thing we do as well with bandwagon is sometimes this D becomes a little bit quieter. We don't say it so strong. You can say bandwagon rather than bandwagon, okay? When you're saying it fast. So to jump on the bandwagon, everyone is jumping on the bandwagon of this new fitness trend. And it means everyone is starting to do the same thing. Okay, so we can use it many times in our modern life. There's lots of things, lots of times we can use it. Try and think of a situation that you know of right now that you could use this for, and make yourself a sentence. Just take some time out. You can pause the video and see if you can do it. Okay, number 22 is at the drop of a hat. Now this means to do something spontaneously and immediately. So for example, she would leave at the drop of a hat. So it means that she doesn't think about something, she just goes. For example, we could say, if you offered to buy me, I don't know, an ice cream or something, I would go at the drop of a hat. Or if I had a better offer, I would leave at the drop of a hat. Okay, it means like quickly and without much thought. Now, the pronunciation here is drop, so drop, and we have this is hat, at. So these two words, we make sure that we use these vowel sounds. So drop of a hat. Although this part, you will find of with the schwa sound, and has the schwa sound too. So drop of a hat, drop of a hat. Try it. Number 23 is to hit the books. Hit the books means to study. So it's nice and easy one, this. Hit the books, meaning I'm going to go into the books. So I'm going to hit the books with any part of my body, it doesn't matter. I need to hit the books, I have a test tomorrow. I need to hit the books, I have a test tomorrow. Talking of tests, you can go on to that little eye above and you can get your slides from this video and you can test yourself to see how you've done. What did you remember? How did you do? And if you want to go back, you can go and watch the video again and you can build the vocab like that if you need to. So remember also, if you're not on your desktop, if you're on a mobile or tablet, then we've put this link underneath for you, so in the description. So whichever you're on, you'll find it. Number 24 is to let the cat out of the bag. What does that mean? Well, it means to reveal a secret, okay? He let the cat out of the bag about the surprise party. So he told everybody about the surprise party when he shouldn't. It's revealing a secret. Out is this out sound, out to the bag. Let the cat out of the bag. Again, with this, we have this schwa sound and the as well. This happens too. Let the cat out of the bag. Try and practice it. It's a long phrase, but if you say it quickly, you can really get it down to a short piece of speech. So, let the cat out of the bag. Let the cat out of the bag. Try it. It's not so easy, but you can try anyway. So number 25, kick the bucket, which means to die. So we can use it in all sorts of contexts, but we can here show an example using a car. So my old car finally kicked the bucket. So my old car finally died. And when we use this bucket, it's this sound, so the up sound, and bucket. And again, although it's a two-syllable word, we don't say bucket, we say bucket. So you say the and the I in this word. So kick the bucket, kick the bucket. Okay, number 26 is to go the extra mile, and that means to do a little bit extra. So do much more than is required. So she went, or he went the extra mile to make her birthday special. It means he did more than necessary, more than is required, more than usual. That extra mile, it's talking about just distance maybe, but also we can use it in all different contexts. So go, this O sound, and extra, extra, extra. This is our schwa sound again, extra mile. Go the extra mile. All right, try it out. See if you can use it in context of something that's happened to you or your friends. 27, speak of the devil. It means you've just been talking about someone and then they walk in. all right? And it happens sometimes. So when the person you've just been talking about arrives, all right? So, speak of the devil, here comes Mike now. So you've just been saying something about Mike, and then here he is. And actually, people use this in a very witty way sometimes. So if somebody comes into the door, through the door, they might say something like, oh, speak of the devil, just to make the person think you've been talking about them, because we know this phrase so well. So you can play with these phrases, you can have fun with them. Number 28, when pigs fly, or we sometimes say pigs might fly. Okay, so something that will never happen, because I don't know if pigs will ever fly, and who knows. But we don't think they will, so that's why we use it. So he'll clean his room when pigs fly. Or we might just say, has he cleaned his room? And then you would say, pigs might fly. Yeah, as in, same meaning, but probably not. He'll never do it, okay? You can use this, you can try it out on your friends. Right, number 29, it cost a pretty penny. It's another way to say something's very expensive. So that watch must have cost a pretty penny. And it's kind of a polite and nice, little bit jokey way to say, oh, that looks expensive. And I don't think people will be offended by you using it. It's quite a nice way to say, oh, this is looking expensive, or that looks quite nice, what you've bought, or the car you have, or something. So very expensive. Penny, again, is like the penny of a pound. Okay, so we use it in the British sense. I think the Americans do use this as well, because they sometimes use British phrases, or they can adapt them for their own language. So we all use this, and it's something that you can use too. Okay, last one, number 30, is to see eye to eye. If you see eye to eye with someone, it means that you agree. It's a very nice phrase to use. You say, we see eye to eye, don't we? You can use it with someone, or you can say it about someone. For example, we don't see eye to eye on politics. We don't agree on politics. This one you can use and you can practice. Again, think about the context when you might be able to use it. Do you know of a situation now you can use it in? Try it. Go over the other parts of the video if you need to remind and recap anything. And remember, you can take the level test, which is going to come up on the screen, and that will, in 10 minutes, give you your level of English. And it's something you must do, because you need to know what your level of English is. Because only then you can help yourself. All right, so I hope you've really enjoyed this video, and we'll see you again soon.